So, my friends, welcome to a new stock update video, or rather, to a brand new category on this channel. We're starting again with stock analyses, or more generally, we're diving deeper into the topic of stocks, individual stocks, and possibly also ETFs. There will also be a video about that sooner or later. How do I invest for the long term? Which ETFs do I currently have running? All of that will be coming bit by bit from now on. Right up front, the stock analyses won't be coming every week. That would just be too much. We don't have that much volatility either. I'll structure all the stock analyses in a way that you can see, okay, long-term entries, medium-term exits, or when I plan to sell and things like that. I'll definitely announce those kinds of updates in our Telegram group as well. I've already shared quite a bit with you there, like when I bought back into Coinbase or when I sold. But now I also want to show you all of this in video form, or at least include it in videos, since there was a demand for it. Feel free to write in the comments below which stocks you'd like to see in the future, what you want me to cover, and also how you're currently invested. I'm really interested in that, too, so I can maybe draw some insights from it. But before we get started, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, as I just mentioned, feel free to check out the free Telegram Talk and Signal group. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, feel free to join the free group link below. You'll find the link down in the video description. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything related to crypto, staking, and so on, feel free to sign up with my partner exchange, BingX. Personally, I buy my stocks elsewhere, since that's not possible on BingX at the moment, but it's supposed to be available again in the future. But for now, I buy spot stocks on Trade Republic. I'll also put the link for that down in the video description in case you don't have it yet. Otherwise, I do everything else with Trade Republic. Alright, let's get started. Coinbase, $251. So, everything is listed in dollars. That's really important to mention right up front, even if you're using something like Trade Republic. Of course, there it's in euros, but what's important is that these are the amounts in dollars. Right now, the current price is $251. Naturally, Coinbase also benefits from a bull run and from all the ETFs, because the ETFs are, in quotes, managed there or, held there, at least most of them, as far as I know. And Coinbase has really benefited a lot from that. We are still in a very long upward trend right now. It started back in December 2022, so we've been in this uptrend for about 2.5 years. This trend went all the way up to $350, which didn't quite reach the all-time high, almost the listing price, which in my opinion was completely overestimated at the time, especially since it happened right in the middle of the bear market, or at the beginning of the bear market. That's why the stock wasn't that interesting to me back then. It only became much more interesting to me at the correction level, where we actually bought in, this was the call in the Telegram group back then, between $84 and $66. Of course, you could have gotten in at an even lower price, but at that point, things still felt a bit too uncertain for me in terms of finding the bottom and so on. That's why I entered here, and then the stock went up significantly. If we take the middle band, we saw an increase of 370% here for a single stock. An extremely good performance. For me, the trend is still intact. Even though we've now broken through the trend line here on the daily chart, the price dropped into the golden pocket. That was the next entry zone, between $160 down to $141, and since then we've seen another huge uptrend. So, but now be careful. I already said a few weeks ago that I sold 50% of my position here. Why? If you draw the FIB level from our upward movement to our low, so, for me, the golden pocket is the most interesting area, and you can see that too. That's exactly where we got rejected. Plus, at this yellow line, which is our, well, former trend line. That means we failed at Coinbase at first, with 2 overlapping resistance points. The earnings really weren't particularly good, I have to add that here. But I'd say, the outlook, if crypto continues to be accepted, still looks bullish to me, even though the earnings were absolute garbage this time. It should also be mentioned here that this candle with the gap was due to the fact that it was supposed to be included in the S&P 500, or by now actually is. That was the reason for this huge pump, which went perfectly into the golden pocket here, right into this selling zone. And that's where I sold 50% for now. For me, the next entries or potential entries would be to start accumulating again here. We definitely still have the gap here at $212, and then down here again our zone between $158 and $142. If all of this turns out to be a bearish count, let's just say, then there's a chance that we'll definitely go back down into our red box here, and the second area would be the green box here again, which is also a buying zone. That means my previous buying zones will remain the same for now because they also match up very well with the FIB level here. So for me, the perfect entries are $158 down to $142 and then further down to 84 or 66 US dollars. For me, the most overlap right now is here. I'd say between $142 down to $114. The box can possibly be adjusted again, but I will definitely let you know in more detail in the Telegram group that we may then see a downward trend, that we will then complete the correction and then, let's say, move into a larger upward movement, that we will say, okay, that was possibly wave 1, correction, wave 2 and then into a bullish phase 3, then with an exponentially increasing bull run, yes, ahead. Those would be, let's say the bearish and bullish scenarios for entries. Why did I only take out 50% here? The reason is simply that if the stock markets keep pumping unexpectedly, then we're still, let's say, a bit in the game. And then my next price targets would definitely be up here at 370 US dollars. But honestly, at the moment, I don't expect much more than that. So, somewhere between 370 and maybe 390 US dollars. That would be the bullish scenario, and then I'd also expect a rollover here, a kind of double top, before we might possibly head into a bear market, just like is actually the case with most stocks right now. But you'll see that in the other stock analyses as well. Otherwise, yeah, that's it for Coinbase for now. Those are, as I said, my zones. This is the, well, riskier option, the 212 to 206 range. Because of the gap, if we find a bit of support here, it could be a small entry opportunity. Otherwise, the big zones are clear. My sell zones are definitely clear. As the price moves up toward the all-time high, I'll definitely take out another 25%, and I'll keep the remaining 25% if there's an opportunity and a bullish case to the upside. Otherwise, those are my buy zones. Feel free to share your opinion in the comments below. What do you think about this? Are you invested in Coinbase? How are you holding the shares? If Circle ever becomes available, that's another possibility. We'll definitely do a stock analysis on that here as well. Otherwise, that's it from my side. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Leave a like, subscribe, join the Telegram group, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye, and as always, stay crypto.